Greetings, gifting tribe. In this great financial reset that I'm going through and growing through, I have created a game plan for myself that I would like to share with you of how I plan to go from the $0 net worth that I currently have, from that dropped from $4.4 million overnight to zero, and an income stream of $100,000 up plus per month down to zero. Um, Starting from that ground zero point to rebuilding to six-figure a month. And I'll be doing that kind of in an open book method so you can see how one with their knowledge, sweat equity, and work ethic can get from any devastation of finances through willpower and a devotion and the persistence to slowly rebuilding themselves to getting back to the top. I am not someone that is wealthy because of money. I'm wealthy because I have the perspective that I'm worth more than the money. And as they say, the man makes the money, not the money makes the man. And that is what is keeping me going. That is what gives me a sense of peace and confidence. Just like when a bird rests on a shaky branch, its confidence is not that the branch won't snap, but rather in its wings and its ability to carry itself and uplift itself. And that is what I have developed over the years, that level of confidence in myself and the work ethic to match along with it. With that, let's dive into the game plan for restarting from $0 to $100,000 per month. First and foremost, what I will be doing is treating entrepreneurship, which has this glorified view of laptop lifestyle. I can work whenever I want, 4-hour work week, not even work day, and kind of gets derailed in the sense of it doesn't sound like you have to put in the hours, or that it's such a exotic life. Just press a few buttons from your laptop, or for your phone, and easy profits or something. The reality of it is there's so much foundational work that is even more time consuming and requires more devotion than a 9 to 5, which after you leave that job, you don't have to think about it. This you have to think about always. But more so, I was listening to this interview where Akon was saying that his experience working with Eminem was so odd because Eminem would like come to the studio at a certain time, like it was a job, like clocking in, and then he'd be like, "Oh, it's time for my lunch break," and go to lunch, come back, and then like be done at 5 or 6, and then come back the next day on time, according to like a schedule that he made as if it was a job. And that's the kind of showing up that I will be doing for the sake of spending time, energy on the craft of developing myself and developing in this space. Is that just by sitting and putting in the hours, your brain will begin to figure things out. It's like you just keep like trying and like, oh, well, this is not working. Oh, a little bit of progress here. Okay, let me do more of this. And that whole like tweaking process happens with those 10,000 hours of devotion. But you have to show up, and I have to show up. And that's what I mean by the putting in the daily hours, which entrepreneurship kind of alludes that you don't have to put in that much hours. It's a lot simple. You just a few hours a week, even, let alone a day. People brag about how little they work to make money in entrepreneurship, and yet no one brags about how much they work without results to lay the foundation. And that's kind of what I'll be showing you is the work behind the scenes. another major step in this game plan, reviewing every opportunity that comes to me, join most of them, as we never know which one will take off. So a lot of times I have these, like currently I have opportunities that have come to me 6 weeks ago that I was too busy with other things that I did not A, take a deeper look, B, I didn't take a position, C, I didn't introduce it to my audience, and yet those obscure opportunities started to gain more traction, and people now that I know that I would have invited are inviting me to join those same opportunities. And I was telling my secretary, I was like, you know what? Why don't I just, if it's like a decent enough opportunity, and if it is brought to us by someone we want to do business with, that has that we can establish a good relationship with as well, let's just join the opportunity and kind of see how it goes and see which one we like by testing it, and not just theory of, well, I saw the PowerPoint, I saw the presentation. A lot of times the user experience can determine a lot for us. So this is why now I'm taking the time, and actually this red book that sits on my desk is where I will be taking a one-by-one review of the opportunities that comes to me on like a fresh sheet. I'll be watching the full recording of a Zoom call and taking down notes, writing down my questions, hopping on a Zoom with the person who introduced the opportunity to me, and getting a deeper understanding and having a baseline understanding from the presentation, and asking the questions that I wrote down. And then if it is even decent enough, I'll take a position and see where that goes. Next, create a community, a tribe of growth-minded investors and networkers that I can pour my knowledge, strategy, and resources into. So instead of going as wide as possible, instead of trying to capture all of the social media audience or whoever's on our list of people that we typically do business with, in the industry of people, I'd rather just focus on a few people that I can establish stronger relationships with, and give a much deeper interaction with. For example, the Gifting Tribe Facebook group, you'll see it doesn't have thousands of people, as I have built other Facebook groups into the thousands of people. The highest one was like over 5,000. But the Gifting Tribe is something that I'm being very selective on. In fact, you have to answer like some questions. I make it an effort to try to get in, and I'm doing that because I know that I'll be putting a lot of time, energy, effort, money, resources into my community, and that's where I want you guys to benefit from through the effort that I put in, and that's kind of like 1,000 of the right mindset people is more than 10,000 people that are just a bit scattered and disoriented, or doesn't even care about the community or the mission or the kind of calling that brought them together. I'd rather just focus on there's a great concept called 1,000 true fans is all you need to scale up to 1 million. And this is the mentality with which I'm going to work with the Gifting Tribe community. Create more quantity and variety of content, not just opportunity presentations and comp plan videos, but also about skill development, marketing methodology, as well as interviewing other top income earners to share their blueprint for building large teams and large incomes. So typically I see, and I have also been just making content around opportunities. This is this opportunity. This is a review on this. This is an update on this opportunity. This is a tutorial on this opportunity. And while those are necessary, it's not as personable. It's not as like, hey guys, this is what it takes to do well in this industry, because we all have the same opportunities, yet why do some of us do better than others? It has a lot to do with our mentality, a lot to do with our devotion of time, a lot to do with our skills, a lot to do with our hunger, of lot to do with knowing the right things to do and doing the right things consistently. All of these things are an important piece of the puzzle to taking any opportunity and maximizing it. And that is something that I'll be creating content around. Is not just here's opportunity A, B, C, D, but rather, hey guys, this is how you do a launch for any opportunity. And thankfully I've built some good connections with a lot of international leaders around the world. I would say the top echelon of networkers that we have seen in this industry. I've gotten to rub elbows with and have some conversations with. So I'll get insights from them for us. Next, get creative for scalability and shareability. From Zoom launches for every leader, not just the big ones, to creating custom marketing plans for different audiences in different modalities. So when it comes to what I have seen, which is I can do, for example, the Zoom calls for an opportunity, but it doesn't become scalable and it doesn't become something that is reached by the leaders. You know, the taproot method, it doesn't really go that deep. Some techniques that I have seen in the industry by 7-8 figure earners are things like Zoom launches for every leader, meaning that you the person that is a bit more qualified, plus someone that, so let's say, for example, you guys are my audience, my tribe. You guys have gotten to know me at least a little bit, and I can qualify my sponsor, who's most likely not only doing better, but also knows more about the opportunity. So by bringing him as a bridge, or me being the bridge between a more qualified source and me being the trusted source, between that bridge, it creates a way where he's doing the presentation for me and I've done the introduction between you and him. That's the model that hopefully I can do for you, and I can also teach you how to do for your leaders. And in this way, we can have one solid presentation for every leader that is customized for them, that you could send out with your link, so that it's not just an introduction by me or someone, it's an introduction by you to your audience through someone that you have, what is that word, edified, so that your audience understands that you are validating them, or you respect them, and that that person is worth listening to. So that's just one method of scalability, and of course, I'm creating a lot of marketing content that may also be customized for each leader with their own branding or whatnot. So I'll for example, create that for each individual leader based on my interaction with them, to say, hey, Sal, like I'd like this sort of a flyer, this sort of a Zoom, this sort of a video, and we'll go ahead and customize things for each person. Next, fluid and personalized communication with my leaders. From speedy voice notes to personal video replies to one-on-one Zoom masterminding. So communication is the oxygen of our industry, and the more personalized that I found we make it, the better it is for developing that sense of familiarity. We are living in a time where people are copy pasting a bunch of messages to everyone, and it becomes very inhumane. It becomes very unpersonal. Like it seems so robotic that it's not even worth a reply, and it also somewhat like insulting, somewhat like in the sense of like, if you think about it, you would not do something like that in an actual conversation, like without like any sort of greeting or easing into that topic. You wouldn't just walk up to someone, like just have a verbal vomiting of like, this is what I do, and this is like how you can participate in what I do, and you should take my service or join my whatever, and not like ask the right questions. Like I really appreciate the people that says, hey Sal, I'm doing some project or whatnot, would it be okay if I share it with you? And I'm like, I really appreciate you asking that, as opposed to the other person that's just verbal diarrhea, all right, right in the inbox. So this is why something like voice notes, which I'm not only getting to do more and more, I'm trying to limit my text. Also, it's easier to just say what you want to say versus typing what you want to type. And also what I'm getting, what has been the foundation of me building a lot of strong relationships with people that I've never met, or people that I've met later on in my career, is making a personalized video. Hey John, hey Joe, this is what I think of this and that, and I appreciate that. Like that 30 seconds, 60 seconds makes a huge difference in a inbox of people that are just text. There's a facial recognition, there's verbal recognition that is one of the closest forms of a over the internet handshake, and it's just so raw and human versus robotic. Another piece of this game plan is reinvesting into the team, from marketing budgets to online AI tools to TGT promotions to give more giving, gifting, and uplifting. This is a huge part of growth, which is taking some of the profits and reinvesting into the team, into the leaders, into better marketing, into better tools. And so the nature of the gifting tribe is to give, gift, and uplift. And the more that I make, the more that I will reinvest into you guys, so that those that are putting in the effort have even more of a momentum through me injecting financial fuel to their fire. Not only reinvesting into you guys, but also reinvesting into my mind, which is to invest in mentorship for myself. As I start making more, I will invest more into becoming a better leader for our tribe through paying top level industry leaders and sharing with you all what I learned from them. One of the most accelerated ways of cutting through a lot of difficult lessons, like losing $4.4 million in one opportunity, well, one investment platform, is to pay for these lessons through someone who has the experience, and someone who can see more than I can see, more than what we can see in our current state. It's not beyond us to have someone that can give us some perspective, because no matter how great someone is, there's always someone with more experience, and different forms of experience. And so let's say I paid $5,000 to 3 different industry leaders for just like 2 or 3 Zoom sessions of like, hey, this is where I am right now, and this is where I'm trying to get my community, my tribe, and my income to. What are some things? And they'll be like, well, have you tried out this service, this tool? Just them even pointing or connecting me to different things can revolutionize everything. Do you realize that one tool that may make your life so much easier? Like, for example, I'm not doing automated webinars, for example. If I was speaking to someone that, and by the way, why am I not? So that's already, something that I can think of. What are things that I can't even think of that someone with some, more decades of experience can point out? But something like that, like, hey, so why don't you're doing a live Zoom every day? Like, have you thought about automating it so that it's every 15 minutes so that people can watch it on their own time or something? And I'm like, that's a really good idea. And then like, well, these are the services that you'll need. This is how you set it up. And this is how you plug in a pre-recorded Zoom and do all that. And that could be a huge game changer. It sounds like a huge game changer. Something else I'm not doing, building an email list. So again, these are some things that are so obvious that I even know about them. But like, as I make more, not only will I be investing into those sorts of tools and services for us, but also knowledge and wisdom from the greats of our industry. Very, very significant. In scaling up from $0 to $100,000 a month, I will need to ignite my work ethic. Explore the depths of the potential of this industry. Take it on as a professional, not just a careless amateur who is trying to get lucky, rather creates luck through effort. The upside reward is a life of limitless income as we make memories traveling around the world. I say this not as like a theoretical pie in the sky dream. I say this as a med school dropout with $90,000. Well, it was $123,000 of student loans that I settled with the Department of Education for $90,700 after many years of this industry. But as someone who dropped out, I graduated college, I dropped out of med school, and didn't have any sort of bright future ahead. Someone, without any sort of fancy degrees or anything like that. And yet, starting from that position through this industry, not only have I paid back my student loans, allowed for my family to do some incredible things, as well as travel to 26 countries, 26, and create memories along the way. But I've also gotten to make millions and lose millions, and learn some very, very expensive lessons. So I say this because I know that it was only through work ethic because there's a lot of people that are in this industry that are kind of treating it as a hobby, as a kind of a thing on the side. But I was always trying to get to the point where I could quit my sales job, which I was a sales rep for a water treatment company. Imagine doing door-to-door sales, telling people that they need a full house water treatment filtration system, anywhere from like $5,000 to $10,000. So that was kind of what I was doing right before I got some momentum in network marketing, that I got to make the jump and fully dive into this. So now I am back at that ground zero restarting point, but I have tasted the peak of the mountains, and I'm striving to go even higher than I've gone before. by creating a stronger infrastructure, a stronger foundation than I did before. This is so significant for me. To ignite my passion for offline charity work, money doesn't move my soul. What does is finding a larger purpose, meaning, and motivation in embodying the Gifting Tribe's ethos by also giving back the most as we strive to make the most. In fact, I've started a mission of giving a million gifts to underserved and unseen people in the most impoverished countries with other leaders around the world in the Gifting Tribe. Just to show you a little snippet of what I am doing in my motherland. This is me at a orphanage school where we gave out backpacks and school supplies to them and celebrated with some cake. This is from another school where we gave them some treats. This was actually on Valentine's Day. You can see this old woman here, and there's a lot of elderly women here because this was a old age home that we brought orphan girls to for Valentine's Day to try to bring together mothers that didn't have daughters and daughters that didn't have mothers on a day where they might have felt left out. This is a school in the slums. You can see the walls of the school are tin, and I think those are like made of bamboo. And there's like a fan and like 2 lights. And it's just overcrowded. And so we gave them some school supplies and stuff. There's so much more that I'd like to do for these kids here. This is the kind of area that they live in. You know, what's interesting is that I was one of these kids. Running around barefoot and with no future. It's only out of a random lottery visa that my dad got that we got to go to America, and from there I embarked on a brand new path where I was supposed to be a doctor, and even that got shifted to this path of whatever you want to call this. And so I'm grateful to be in a place where now I can do something for the kids that remind me of myself. And this is why we're called the Gifting Tribe, because I never wanted to lose sight of that in all of this attention to money. I could have called it the crypto tribe, or something about the money tribe, or something that was more capitalistic focused. But I wanted to remember my roots and wanted to utilize these first world opportunities to uplift people in third world countries. Because now I sit here in my motherland, in this country that you're seeing the pictures of, and through a phone and laptop and my work ethic and knowledge, I'm able to generate first world income, maybe amongst the top 1% of first world income, just like you can, sitting wherever you are, because you have the capacity to not just interact on a global economy, but you can learn and you can develop skills. And that's the journey we're embarking on, that I have to embark on myself because of where I am financially. But I also want to do it openly so that you can see, that the money never really made me, that I, through my dedication, resilience, and tenacity, and willingness to learn and not give up, can always rise to the top. This is us on my actual 32nd birthday, where I was in Dubai the night before this, and I flew the night before my birthday to come to my motherland to spend my birthday sharing it with these kids that normally don't get to celebrate their birthdays. And so this is actually a cake that my assistant got for me. And so together we cut these cakes and enjoyed it. This is actually in a restaurant that normally they wouldn't even be allowed in because these are street kids of the slum. And this is like a nice restaurant. So for them, I hope it was a memorable experience as it was for me. As you can see, it was one of those things that really stays with you, and it leaves some impact of why we do what we do. Because I can tell you, it's not going to be a fancy watch or the luxurious things that it just doesn't touch the soul. As nice as they are, and as there needs to be a balance, and this is how I create that balance. It's kind of funny that I'm wearing it's not Armani, it's Amari or something. Anyway, I bought this jacket in Miami for like, I think it was like a few $100s, and I was like, wow, that is expensive. This hat was $300, and it's just nice to be able to step foot in both, because I do know that we all deserve to live a higher quality of life, and not that this jacket and hat is like a higher quality of life, but that the guy driving the exotic car doesn't have to be a douchebag, that he can also have a heart. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at, is that there can be a balance, that we don't have to live in a this or that world where it's like, oh, you're either like give the shirt off your back kind of person, or you're either like spend all your money on materialistic things. You can be both, and that's kind of the mission of making the most as well as giving back the most. Nothing worthwhile in life is easy, but this industry allows anyone from any walk of life without fancy degrees to build the life of our dreams through nothing but sweat equity, even if you have $0 to your name like I do now. Actually, I'm in the negative, which will make the comeback story even more amazing to be a part of. You can either grow with me or watch from the sidelines. Either way, the phoenix will rise. That is everything I wanted to share with you about my game plan to scale up from the nothing that I have, the less than nothing that I have, to making it to the 6-figure a month. And I want you to really know that you can start from nothing, like $0 in your name, because you may think, oh, but I need at least the minimum amount to start whatever opportunity. Not only for many opportunities can you start with just a affiliate account and put in the sweat equity, but I can tell you that if you are genuine and if you reach out to enough people and enough with enough sense of openness and a game plan of how you plan to get yourself out of this and what you're planning to do, and be a student of the game, that many people like myself, not right now because I'm trying to get myself up, but as soon as the income starts flowing, I have given away hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands. And so there are people that's willing to give you a chance. And that's what I mean by you can truly start from $0 through just a drive of, I have to make it and I'll do whatever it takes. And I want to prove that to you through what I'm growing through by sharing my journey with you openly. I hope that it gives you some sense of everything's going to be all right. Because if someone can come back from a $4.4 million loss, then you can surely get yourself out of the financial situation that you're in, or at least uplift yourself with some new streams of income. We will have to learn to grow, and together we will find ways of elevating each other. And I'll take knowledge from here and there. A lot of people will, that not only I will get to share information with you, a lot of you will be sharing things with me that I'll share with the entire tribe. So it'll be a collective effort, but one that you'll see me putting in the daily work to evolve. And I invite you to evolve and grow alongside with me. As always, Gifting Tribe, let's find creative ways to give, gift, and uplift.